Since 2011 or since 2012, there's a cup and handle that we have broken on the quarterly. The cup and handle there has been broken, but that makes the handle of a giant cup and handle that I was the first one to point out a couple of years ago in one of the videos. And that giant cup and handle is predicting a move that should take us well above $150, but probably around $300, $500. I mean, it sounds crazy, but $300, $500 silver is where that giant cup and handle is predicting prices that are more in line with that, maybe even higher. So that is really exciting. Well, there's one thing that I want to say about that is I agree with everything that he's saying. Hyperinflation, I don't know about that because it's the world's reserve currency and there's sort of the law of big numbers. And although we have seen the Fed already hyperinflate bank reserves, that truly did get hyperinflated. We went from less than $1 billion to I can't remember what the peak was, but so I don't know about. I believe a vertical move is coming, and Congress does keep spending, and the Fed will keep typing. They don't actually print that much. They type currency into existence, and the difference between 1 and a trillion is just 12 zeros. So,
I love that.
However, I think Locutus should go watch part of this video again because he says silver would need to hit near $200. Well, $200 was the CPI. There's a whole section on the inflation. And the problem with the CPI is it cherry picks a few different items in society. It's not measuring everything. And true inflation is the whole economy. What does everything cost in society if you could add it all up? The thing is, the stock market's inflated the most. If you look at the Wilshire 5,000 index that I showed there, I showed the inflation of everything. And basically, if silver had kept up with real estate, it would have been $468 or GDP, $468 if it went into the same type of bubble and had the same purchasing power of real estate. If silver had the same purchasing power against real estate, it would have been 468, and that's the level that it had in 1980 in today's dollars. And so this near $200 level is half that. And if you're talking about the Wilshire 5,000 index, the $200 level is less than 90%. It's more than 90% less than the purchasing power that it had in 1980. Let me see. I think I was looking at that. Okay. So to have the same purchasing power as 1980, the Consumer Price Index said $200 back in the summer of 22 when the book was published. But $468 for a single family median price home, $2,178 for the Wilshire 5,000 stock market index, $1,059 to purchase treasury bonds with the same percentage return. US GDP 468, currency in circulation, it should be going at $971 an ounce, M2, MZM. So I measured it against all these things. But in order to buy a house, its purchasing power would have to be to have the same purchasing power as 1980, it would have to be $468. So that's measured against a house. So saying near 200, well, I guess 468 is sort of near 200 if you're saying that it could go to 1,000, or it could go vertical, looking down from a really high point like that. Yeah, near $200, 468 is. But I think that we're headed for over $200 because it isn't going to be near, like coming up from where we're at, sort of approaching $200. That is, we've already done those calculations, and that's looking in the rearview mirror. So yeah, so what else did you have to say about? I think everything in his comment is absolutely spot on, except go back and watch that piece where I go through one of the pages in the book, The Great Gold and Silver Rush of the 21st Century. And you can see that on a 6-month or the quarterly, yeah, he did the 6-month. I don't know how he did it, but on a quarterly, this is the highest close in history on a quarterly. Yeah. And so super, super bullish moves. Now, another thing that I want to point out is since 2011 or since 2012, there's a cup and handle that we have broken on the quarterly. The cup and handle there has been broken. But that makes the handle of a giant cup and handle that I was the first one to point out a couple of years ago. And that giant cup and handle is predicting a move that should take us well above $150, but probably around $300, $500. I mean, it sounds crazy, but $300, $500 silver is where that giant cup and handle is predicting prices that are more in line with that, maybe even higher. So that is really exciting when you put this in that perspective that I had not looked at how the cup and handle for the giant cup and handle formation is playing out. But this is sort of a confirmation. We've already completed on a quarterly basis. We've completed the cup and handle. It's done.